Have you noticed this? We've stepped into 2026 and everything feels faster. More information, more noise, more pressure to keep up. We go through our days doing a whole bunch of things that seem harmless, totally normal, even productive. Sometimes we're so convinced we're doing life the right way. But here's the slightly uncomfortable truth. Some of those everyday habits are quietly destroying your brain in 2026. For example, you forget a piece of bread at the bottom of your bag. At first, nothing seems wrong. And then one day you pull it out, and it's already moldy. You don't even remember when it happened. That's what's happening to your mind. Your intelligence isn't disappearing all at once. It's being worn down, little by routines we barely even notice anymore. And the ironic part is, none of us are lacking intelligence. We're not stupid. We're just slowly dulling our minds by living day after day in a half-awake state, always busy, always stimulated, but rarely truly focused. So today, I want to invite you to pause for a moment. Not to judge yourself, but to look at things honestly. Because we're going to break down the habits that seem harmless, but directly weaken your ability to think clearly, stay focused, and actually learn. And while you're watching, you might catch yourself thinking, wait, I do that all the time. That's okay, because noticing it is already the first smart step. So, let's get into it. What exactly is making us a little less intelligent every day in 2026? 1. Constantly distracted. Try paying attention to this. It feels like we've slowly lost the ability to just sit still. The moment there's even a tiny gap in our day, our hand automatically reaches for the phone, like a conditioned reflex. Waiting 30 seconds for the elevator? We scroll Instagram. Waiting for a friend to pour a glass of water? We open TikTok. Even at a red light, if we don't pull out our phone to check something, we suddenly feel this strange emptiness, like life is too quiet. We call it entertainment, just scrolling a little to kill time. But what it's actually doing is turning your brain into a machine that can only function when it's constantly fed fast, intense, continuous stimulation. It's like raising a child on candy all day, and then wondering why they refuse to eat real food. And this is the truly dangerous part. Your brain needs boredom to become intelligent. Those silent, empty moments, the ones that look useless, are actually the moments when your brain starts connecting ideas, thinking deeper, analyzing, and creating. But we keep killing those moments. We eliminate every pause with our phones, with 10-second videos, with endless, quick consumption content that adds no real value, except dopamine. And over time, your brain gets trained into a simple pattern. Whenever there's space, give me something fun. Don't make me think deeply. That's exhausting. Now think about it. When was the last time you went on a walk without staring at a screen? When was the last time you waited for someone and just stood there, letting your thoughts drift? It might have been so long that you've forgotten what that feels like. Because intelligence doesn't come from how much content you consume. It comes from whether you have enough quiet space to digest it. But if your brain is constantly stuffed with mental junk food, how could there be any room left for deep thinking? So if you want to regain your intelligence, you don't need to start with something huge. Start with the smallest things. Next time you're waiting for the bus or walking to the store near your home, try keeping your phone in your pocket. Let your brain breathe for just a moment. You might be surprised how long it's been since you experienced what quiet thinking actually feels like. And if you can fix this one habit, this constant distraction, you'll feel your mind sharpen in a very real way, like wiping a thick layer of dust off a screen you haven't cleaned in years. 2. Talking more than listening. If you've ever been in a group chat, or honestly, any group chat, you'll notice something instantly. Everyone wants to talk, but very few people truly want to listen. It's that familiar situation where you barely finish half a sentence, and someone jumps in like, yeah, I know. Even though the truth is, they don't actually know anything. Try giving them feedback, they get offended. Try having a debate. It's not to understand each other, it's to prove to the entire world, I'm not someone you can underestimate. But here's the paradox. The less someone understands, the more they feel the need to talk. They explain, they justify, they flex, They overcompensate. Meanwhile, people who are truly sharp usually stay quiet. They observe, they listen, and they let you reveal your own level without saying a single extra word. If you want to level up fast, the secret is actually simple. Don't speak to win, speak to learn. Every time you ask one more question, you get a little smarter. Every time you stay silent for just 3 extra seconds, you understand things that people, who are only waiting for their turn to talk, will never notice. So in every conversation, let your brain move 1 second ahead of your mouth. That's it. And just by doing that, you'll already be ahead of 80% of people out there. 3. Avoiding challenges. How many times in your life have you started something with huge excitement? Learning an instrument, learning a language, reading a book, starting a new project, and then the moment you hit a difficult part, you gave up. Not because you're lazy, but because a thought instantly popped into your head. Maybe I'm just not smart. Maybe this isn't for me. I don't have talent. And here's the truth. The real problem isn't laziness. The real problem is fear. You're afraid of being judged, afraid of feeling awkward, afraid of seeing yourself look incompetent. So the moment something becomes difficult, your brain automatically turns around, because deep down, you've been trained to believe this. If I were intelligent, I would be good at it right away. But reality is the complete opposite. That stupid feeling, that frustration, that struggle, is actually the sign that your brain is upgrading. It's exactly like lifting weights. If your muscles never get sore, they never grow. Your mind works the same way. If everything you do is easy, then you're not growing. You're just walking the same old path you've always walked. Intelligence isn't built from things you've already mastered. It's built from the things that make you uncomfortable, the things that confuse you, the moments where you try and still feel out of breath. Because that's the moment your brain is stretching. That's the moment you're getting smarter. 4. Thinking you already know. One of the most dangerous signs is that your mind is slowly falling asleep, is when you start thinking, oh, I already know this. I understand it. No need to read more. I've got this topic completely figured out. Because the moment you stop being curious, your brain begins to freeze. It stops opening itself up to search, to question, to challenge old assumptions. And here's the scariest part. The problem isn't that you don't know something. The problem is that you don't even realize you don't know it. You think you know enough, so you stop learning. Truly intelligent people are different. They keep their minds open. They question the things they believe are true. They constantly update their thinking. And they're willing to admit one simple sentence. I was wrong. And don't confuse this. Admitting you don't know something, or admitting you were wrong, is not weakness. It's the opposite. That is real intelligence. That is the ability to keep learning and improving. Because many people think they're being confident, when in reality, they're just making their mind rigid. And a rigid mind can't grow. Intelligence doesn't disappear overnight. In 2026, it fades in a much quieter way, slowly, gently, almost invisibly, through habits that look harmless, but quietly steal your sharpness over time. Constant distraction, talking more than listening, avoiding difficult things, and the most dangerous one of all, thinking you already know enough. And here's what makes it even worse in 2026. AI is developing at a crazy speed. It knows what you like, what you scroll, what you stop to watch, what makes you laugh, what makes you angry, and it gets better at predicting you every single day. So if you're not careful, you're not just losing focus by accident, you're losing it because the world is designed to pull your attention away. And the scary part is, you don't even notice it happening, until one day you realize it's harder to focus, harder to think deeply, and harder to learn the way you used to. But here's the good news. You don't need to change everything at once. In fact, trying to fix everything at the same time is exactly how most people fail. All you need is to break one habit, just one, and your mind will already become clearer than most people around you. One small adjustment, but the impact is massive. So before you click away, take a moment and ask yourself, which of these habits is slowly eroding your intelligence the most right now? And if this video made you pause, if it hit your pride just a little, then hit like.